Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to East Coast Manga. So, today, I gotta make such an unfortunate video. This is like, for any, I mean, man, I don't even know how to like talk about this. So, for manga readers, you're definitely gonna, like, this is definitely gonna hit you, but for manga collectors specifically, or people who want to collect manga, whether they're doing it or planning to do it, this issue I have is definitely going to hit. So not only did I get scammed buying manga, but the worst part of it is I have 25 volumes of very out of print manga that I'm just going to have to throw away. I would have already done it, and I'll explain later in the video why I haven't done yet and when I'm going to. But I would have never thought in a million years that I would have bought 20 complete set of this out of print manga, 25 volume, and had to throw away every single volume. And without further ado, let's get into the series, get into the issues, start from the bottom, and explain exactly what happened. And if you plan on buying manga at any point in your life, physical copies, I recommend watching this video because I wish I saw a video like this. This is not your typical getting scammed manga. This is not your typical getting scammed manga. Like the books got to me, and they're the correct books, and they're in fantastic condition, except for an absolutely fatal, disgusting flaw with every single book. So let's get into it. Decent amount of you guys probably will have no idea what the series is. I know there's definitely going to be some people who know what the series is, but it's Zatch Bell. I actually forget that I watched this anime. This is one of the first animes that I've actually watched and I basically knew was an anime. I want to say it came out around like 2006 or something like that, so not quite as old as like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon, which, you know, I was into those more. But when this was released in anime version, man, like I don't know, there was just something about it I thought was so interesting. But this is a video talking about why I got scammed and how I got scammed, not a video talking about this series. Eventually I will pick up this series again and I'll make a review or pick up and talk about it, but let's get into my issue. Usually I would hold up the manga and keep it held up for a lot of the videos so you guys can see it, but not these. These actually stay on the top of my bookshelf and do not get touched. They actually have I have like a wrap over them so you can't even see them. So to start from the beginning, this was purchased off of Mercari. I had done some research for maybe like a month and a half trying to find this series because I knew it was in manga form. I knew it released in 25 volumes, and I'm like, man, I really want this. It's out of print, and the first couple volumes aren't that expensive, but once you get higher and higher and higher into the volume count, they get much more expensive. So if you were to purchase all of the volumes, it would probably run you around somewhere between $250 to $300. I did the math not too long ago. So I found a seller selling all 25 volumes for $160. Now, this is not a fantastic price, but it's a good price. Like, it's, in my opinion, a very good price, and especially because there was no flaws mentioned. The pictures looked fine. There was no like pictures of any damage or anything like that. He had all 25 volumes. There's maybe like one or two library copies, but he didn't mention that. And even those are in like really good condition. So he might have actually even listed them for a little more, but I was able to get it. I was able to offer and bring them down a little bit. It was also free shipping, so 25 volumes of free shipping is fantastic. And he ships them within 2 or 3 days, no issue. So I'm thinking, man, this is awesome. Like, I can't wait to unbox them. I can't wait to talk about them. There's not that many videos on YouTube, about these. I didn't think it was gonna get like a ton of views or anything, but I really like this series, and I feel like people should show it a little more love on YouTube. But because it's so out of print, I understand why a lot of people don't talk about it or have it. So the box arrives, and it's a giant box. I don't have any footage or anything, but it's a giant box, and it's packaged amazingly well. Like, really, really well. No issues. Everything is segmented so nicely. Like, I can't even describe, without a picture, how well it was packaged. But I already knew there wasn't going to be any damage through transit, and it was just great. Now, this was my first Mercari purchase, so I kind of understood how Mercari worked with returns and stuff, but I didn't fully understand it. And I basically unboxed it, and I probably even left it in the box, or I might even put it on my shelves, but I didn't really look at them because I had to leave pretty soon after to go do some work. So I was doing work, and then I realized I think Macari sent me some type of notification. They're like, "Oh, it seems like you received your package. Check it out and leave a review for the seller, so the seller can basically get the money, because the money's held by Macari until you review." So I decided, okay, everything looks great. I obviously did not check them enough, so I decided to rate him because I really liked how he packaged it, and everything was sent pretty quickly. And with eBay, you have a really strong, like 30 days or 60 days guarantee to be able to return something if there's, an actual issue with it, not just you got the wrong thing, or it's the wrong size or something like that. So I thought, okay, Macari probably has protections if, something really, really drastically goes wrong. And that was my absolute fatal mistake. And this goes for Macari or any other website. Like, make sure you pay attention to the fine-lined details, because as much as I talked about Macari, they do have some BS, and this is their BS. Like, do not rate your seller. Don't feel obligated to rate your seller until you have 100% checked out every single book, every single package, whatever you need to check. Because later, when I got home, they were on the shelf, because I got home and I was looking at them, and the covers were like a little grimy, so I'm like, okay, let me clean this out and, just wipe it down. Like, it shouldn't be an issue. Then I noticed something strange. Each of the corners of the books were stained. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is just like by design, or if something actually stained these. So I'm looking at them and I'm just like kind of cleaning them off. And then I noticed that something smells off. And not in the good way, if there's ever a good way for that sentence. Now, I own cats. I've had cats for a long time. And one of our cats, specifically, she had a huge issue with peeing on things. She wasn't fixed at the time, and she would pee on things a lot. So I knew exactly what this smell was, and it really upset me, because I had not smelled this smell in such a long time. We don't have it. We don't have that issue anymore. Like, it's non-existent. So I knew right away what that was. And I also came to find out that every single book was stained and damaged. And although a couple of them don't smell that bad, the majority of them are horrible. And it's not something new. It's not something that happened right before the seller sold it. This happened like a while ago. Like, this was in the seller's possession for a long time before he sold this. So upon further inspection, I did realize that yes, there is cat piss, and it is on every single book, and it is affecting every single book, whether it's stained or it smells. It is disgusting. And right away, I knew that I couldn't have this in my house. I couldn't have this in my collection, as much as I wanted all 25 volumes, and as much as I know it's going to be a pain trying to get all of them again, especially in good condition. I knew I had to get rid of these. So I went back on Macari, and I tried to find some type of process to be able to return these, because of, like, basically getting scammed. Like, this guy legitimately scammed me. There was no way he didn't know that his cat pissed on these books. And if there was any loophole in, like, maybe he didn't own these at that time, or maybe he just got these, maybe these just became in his possession, you could smell it. Like, it changes the vibe of a room. It totally changes the smell and just the feel of a room. It's disgusting. And that's why I have to keep them on the top of my bookcase, wrapped up, away from view, and away from smell. Thank God it doesn't smell when I do that. But if I were to, like, spread these out and try to clean them around my room, like, it's nauseating. And yes, I did try to clean them because, I spent good money on this, and I wanted to try to fix that. And Macari just did not have any option to even contact them to find out, like, how to fix this situation. Essentially, their rules are you get 3 days to rate a seller, and once you rate a seller, there's no returns, everything's final. Like, you can relist the item if you want to try to get your money back, but that's to the extent of trying to get your money back. So that pissed me off, and I knew the specific credit card that I used to buy these has very strong protections. So I contacted my credit card company, who's known for basically, you know, solving these types of issues. And I guess you could say I requested a chargeback, although I don't know if like chargeback's the right word, because I essentially filed for getting scammed. Like, this is not the product that I wanted to buy. And as much as people, like, some people may say, oh, like, you know, you already rated the seller and whatever, like, I rated the seller within a couple hours with no knowledge that this was going to be an issue, both the books being an issue and Macari being an issue with not wanting to refund me. But like, dog, these books are disgusting. And anyone who justifies what the seller did is just, it's horrible. Horrible. So I filed a complaint with my credit card company. They basically pulled the charge and just kind of held it in limbo for a while, so I didn't have to pay for it or anything like that, while they contacted Macari and is dealing with that. I just didn't want to mess around with it. I wanted to get straight to the point, because this is like, honestly, I just got so pissed off. So just a couple days ago, they completely credited the account, and by June 1st, if there's no response or issues from Macari, the case is closed. So until then, these will still be in my possession, and after that, they are like 95% going in the trash. Unless there is some magical cure for these books, which I haven't found yet. They're going in the garbage, and at some point in the future, I'll try to just pick up these. They're, like, you can't even find these on eBay and Macari. Like, there's a couple bundles, but they're extremely expensive, or it's just like the first 1 to 4 volumes. And it's just absolutely insane to think that, like, I'm gonna have to throw away $300 worth. Now, yes, I did originally pay $160, and so far I've gotten that credited back, so, you know, if I were to keep these, they would be free, basically. But they are just absolutely unbearable, and there's just no way that I've found to fix them. Anytime I bring them out, the entire room is filled with just a horrible smell. Anytime I try to fix them, it seems like it's alright at first, and then it just becomes horrible again. Now, I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to blast the light a little more so you can see, but just give me 1 second.
Alright, so this should actually be fantastic. You can clearly see. So the top volume, alright, so this is actually amazing. You can clearly see what's going on here. So top 2 volumes, not so bad. They are still stained and they still got piss on them, but you can't see it as much. These 2 bottom volumes are horrible. You can clearly see, and it's on every single page.
And some of you guys may be thinking, oh, like, you know, how didn't he notice the smell? Or, you know, how didn't he look at them and see that there was an issue right away? Well, like I said, first of all, I had to leave right after I got these. And second of all, when I got back, like, they didn't really smell that much. Like, you didn't really notice it because they were all sitting on the shelf, and the issues are on the bottom of the book. So if they're, like, sitting on a case like this, with the bottom on the bookshelf, you don't smell it because it's contained more. But as soon as you lift up a whole stack, then you realize how bad it is. And then justifying, you know, why I didn't notice it looking strange was because it's an out-of-print series. All of the pages are kind of yellow, you know, some are more yellow than others, but I know with older manga, like, the page is yellow, so when I see yellow pages, that doesn't strike me as strange or strike me as odd. So, yeah, so far, I've gotten credited, but this could potentially come back, and if Macari fights it or has some type of issue or whatever, I could potentially end up losing, even though I don't think I have a right to lose. And that's the only reason I'm holding on to them, just in case there's some type of dispute where I need to send pictures or something like that. And yes is the answer to some other question that you guys are maybe thinking, you know, is Macari upset by this? Did they notice the dispute? Did they ban me? Did they, you know, whatever. The answer is yes to basically all of that. I'm soft banned, and I've been soft banned for a while, and on Macari, soft banned is basically you can't buy things, sell things, message people, like things, but you can still view everything, you can still search for stuff, you can still see stuff that uploads right away. It's a very weird thing, but as soon as I sent them this dispute, like a couple hours later or a day later, they sent me an automated message saying that I was going to be banned, but I wasn't banned yet. You know, it's just an automatic message for any type of chargeback. They assume that it's basically fraud and that it was like a stolen credit card or something. Even though that's not the case, they just, whatever, it's just a robot emailing. So I know this is probably one of my longer videos, but I really just wanted to kind of get my story out and get my point across that you really absolutely 100% need to check your manga if it's pre-owned. Like, everything about it, I knew this was a possibility, but like, this wasn't in my head when I was thinking. I was so excited that I got this manga that I just want to make a video, and I just want to get into it and read it, and I can't even tell you how incredibly disappointed I am. And like I said, as a collector, to just have to throw away 25 volumes of out-of-print manga, like, this is stuff that's probably never coming back, so, like, there is a limited supply. This isn't stuff that's getting printed. It probably won't get reprinted. And yeah, I'm just extremely disappointed and defeated. But I am extremely grateful so far that, because I bought this with a credit card, and the credit card company is extremely creditable, that so far I haven't gotten scammed in a monetary sense. I mean, I did, but I was able to get my money back, if you know what I mean. And hopefully you guys gain some knowledge from this video and are able to use my story to help further yourself in not getting scammed or anything like that. I haven't found this to be a common issue or a common problem, but I've only done a couple pre-owned deals so far. So fortunately, I don't have any other stories like this. All my other purchases have been fantastic, all like great condition, no issues whatsoever. But yeah, that's been it for this video. So if you're new, I would highly appreciate it if you subscribe. I do tons of manga and anime related content. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later.